So far, we've got our VR game kind of going, except for the fact that it's not actually a game. Currently, it's only an exercise in frustration. The reason why is because our game is not winnable. We click the button, we toss the ball, and nothing happens, and that's just unsatisfying. So what we're going to do today is make a little bit of text that will display on the screen to let us know that we have won the game as soon as we hit at least one of the bottles with our ball. So today we're going to be going into how to program in C#, the very basics, and how to make that script attach to an object within Unity so that when we play our game, some custom events can start happening. So the first thing that we want to do now that we're writing our code is to download our development environment. This is a piece of software called Visual Studio Community. It's completely free and offered by Microsoft. Go to Google, search in Visual Studio Community, and click on the link that says download Visual Studio. This is available for both PC and Mac. So free Visual Studio, and then hit free download. Once that's done downloading, launch the installer, and you want to make sure you have a couple options here selected. If you have a Windows computer, I would recommend selecting the Universal Windows Platform Development. That'll allow you to do VR stuff if you want later. And we definitely need, in the gaming area, the game development with a Unity plugin. So hit that and hit install. Now back in Unity, we're going to hit create and C# script. From here, we want to name it something interesting so that we know what the script does. Bottle game ball. So this will be the controller for the ball in the bottle game. Okay, within C#, you're going to see a couple of things. First off, you see this public class. Consider that like a box that you hold all your code in. Then within that, there are a few methods. Start and update. Start runs once before the first frame update, so the moment that the game starts. Now, we want to be able to get a little bit more information in the console window. So what we have to do is add maybe the name of what we're colliding. Now, if you notice inside those parentheses, we have a collision event. So if we just type in collision, and then the collider of that collision, the thing that's colliding, and then the game object that we are colliding with within this collision, we can then write its name. So let's go back into the game. And you can see it already hit the table. So it's giving us some good information. Hit our hand, it hit all those bottles over there, and then eventually hit the floor. And see, this is all logged out for us. So now that we can differentiate between what the ball is actually coming in contact with, we can write some code to help us with that. Now notice that it's colliding with individual bottles. I don't want to have to worry about creating code to check for every bottle. So we have this feature called a tag. If I go into the bottle prefab, which controls all of the bottles, I can give it a tag. And that tag will tell me what type of object it is. Right now there's no tag that fits my needs, so we'll go in and we'll add another one and we'll call it bottle. This will make it so that anytime a bottle is hit, I can check that tag to see if the thing was actually a bottle that we hit. So we'll select that tag again inside the prefab, then go back in, and we'll create an if statement. An if statement kind of looks like this. First we write the word if, and then a set of parentheses. Inside those parentheses is where the condition of this if statement goes. So if whatever is inside the parentheses is true, then it will run the script underneath it. So we're going to go into our collision data, and we're going to look for the collider. And in here, there'll be the option to check the collider's tag. So we'll double click tag, and it gets all the tags of the game objects that were hit. So we'll say equal, and we use two equals to show equivalency. And then in parentheses, the name of our tag, so bottle. From there, we'll open up some curly brackets, and then all of the code that we want will go inside those curly brackets. So let's go try our game again. Notice that nothing has printed out yet. It didn't say that it's hit the table yet, which is a good start. Let's go throw the ball. Sweet. And it is shown perfectly that it's hit all of the bottles. However, I don't see any other object that the ball has come in contact with. So we officially have an if statement that selectively does something. So let's make it do something interesting. This is kind of a boring game at the moment. So let's add some text that says that we have won. So this is a simple text object. You can just drag it on there and it works like any other item that we've put on our scene so far. So let's play around with it to make it look kind of good. Woo, you won, I think, is a good message. You know, kind of shows support for the player doing well. Anyways, we're gonna mess with this for a few minutes until it looks good. So let's see if it looks good now. Woo, you won. All right, cool. It looks okay on there, I guess. It's kind of in the table. Maybe we should adjust that just a little bit more. There you go. Can look at the perspective that I'll probably be in. Maybe up a little bit more. Sweet. That looks pretty good. Now the first thing we have to do is tell this code about that text object. So we're going to make a variable up above the start. It's a game object variable because it's an object in our game, and we'll name that variable winText because it's the text that shows that we won. We're going to make it a public object. Public objects or public variables say that we want the Unity editor to be able to see it too, and we can see it in the Unity editor too. See, winText. We can select the text object that we want. Now we said it's a game object, so it'll allow us to select basically anything. But we select the bottle game winText, that's the text that we created. And in the start method, we're going to hide that text. So winText, the name of our variable, set active, and we're going to make that false. And we see we can do that by calling false in between parentheses. And once again, close that off with semicolon. Now we can go back into our code and we can say when we do hit a ball, we can set active to true for our text. And a semicolon, and let's give it a shot. All right, I don't see any winText yet, so that's good. Let's throw the ball at the thing. Woo! I won! Now I have instant gratification for actually achieving something. And just like that, we have completed our first game and written our first code. So now the trick is to start expanding. Kind of the thing that I think makes the most sense to add as the next feature would be a ability to go in and start resetting our game every single time. So we won't have to take off the headset, start the Unity environment, and then go back in to play our game. So next time we'll look at how we can create interactive buttons inside our VR world that can reset our play area for us. If you like this video, do hit the like button and please subscribe if you want to see future videos. We're covering currently VR game development as well as some robotics, so check out those other videos here and here. We have videos releasing every single week, so if you have anything that you would like to see in the future or any suggestions that you'd like us to take these videos in the direction of, leave a comment down below. It not only means a lot to us, but it also helps us refine our channel so that we're actually giving you the information that you need and want. So, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.